Hi, I'm SpookyZ and welcome to Garbage Gaming. Today we're going to be looking at Dreadnought. It's currently in closed beta. We'll take a look at the interface, some of the options available, and then a quick run through a few training matches. So you'll notice that at the bottom of the screen there are a number of ships. You won't actually have that when you first log in with a new account. You only have hero ships if you've purchased any, or trader ships. So those four that are down there are actually ships I've earned, as I'm currently rank 6. So first we'll take a look at the trader ships. Trader ships they're effectively loaner ships. You don't own any ships when you first start unless you've purchased a hero pack. So you have loaner ships that allow you to go out, fight, do missions, earn money. The money you earn allows you then to buy a ship later on. You can't change the appearance, the weapon loadout, or anything else about these ships. All you can do is borrow them and fight them, though they are somewhat better than the trader ships. Back in the main hangar, if you click on one of the ships, you can take a look at its loadout. The first two items are your main and secondary batteries. The key attributes, range, damage, and rate of fire, are noted by slider bars or metered bars above. Neither of these weapons can be changed, so you're stuck with them. You'll have to learn to fight with them. The next four items are modules. These can be weapons or defensive items based on what you've unlocked based upon your captain's rank. Also note that the range for these weapons, this nuclear missile in particular, is denoted by an actual number rather than a metered bar. Would be nice to have that across all the weapons, but you know what they say, consistency is the hobgoblin of small minds. Or at least dev teams that don't communicate with each other. The final two are anti-missile lasers and a tactical warp drive to allow you to jump into or out of trouble. And that's just how this particular ship is set up. You could have things set up differently if you so choose. The final four are officer briefings. These provide various modifiers such as weapon damage, speed modifiers, damage resistance, that type of thing. Haven't unlocked any yet, so I'm not really going to go into them. Next, we'll take a look at the ship types, starting with Dreadnoughts, and for that we'll actually jump into the market. Here I'm already in the market. You can see that I've selected ships, and on the left there is a filter to select the class of ship. I've filtered on Dreadnoughts, and here we see we have light, medium, and heavy type Dreadnoughts. Next up is the cruisers. There's two types of cruisers. There's the artillery cruiser, which is a sniper, long distance, hard hitting. And then there's the tactical cruiser. The tactical cruiser is your repair ship or your healer. Next are destroyers. Once again, we have light, medium, and heavy destroyers. Finally, we come to the corvettes. These also come in the flavors of light, medium, and heavy. Although a quick note about them is that these ships are assassins. They will sneak up behind you cloaked or uncloaked if you're not paying attention and start laying into you. They hit very hard, and if you're not paying attention and you're not ready for them, there's a better than even chance that one will kill you. Here we have your captain's progression screen. You can see I'm currently rank 6. You can follow your progression and see the modules and ships that will be unlocked. You can see the ranks go to rank 50, and there are a number of ships, weapons, modules, and appearance items that you can unlock along the way. Back to the main hangar. Over on the right side of the screen in a column, we have 4 buttons. The bottom 3 are notifications, adding friends, and creating a squad. Pretty simple, basic, straightforward stuff that you find in most games like this. The top button, however, is your daily missions button. It's pretty interesting. You have 3 missions. You can re-roll them once a day, and you're rewarded for completing them. And to finish off in the main hangar, at the very top, the bar, we have 3 buttons. Well, they're not really buttons. The center one is a button, Become Elite. That's pay for premium, effectively. On the left is GP in blue. That is premium cash. You will actually have to pay real money to get that. I have a Founders Pack. That's why I have premium cash. On the right side in orange, FP, this says 2080. That's the amount of money that you earn from missions and combat. And finally, you have the play button. When you click it, it'll say start matchmaking, and matchmaking right now in closed beta can take quite a while. There just aren't that many players to help populate it quickly. Going into it, we get team deathmatch, team elimination, and finally training matches, which are pretty easy. The AI is not great. So let's take a look at some gameplay footage. This match will take place in the Rings of Saturn at an old ice mining facility. First, we have our warping in animation. It's quite pretty, well done. We pan past, and then we'll get a look at the map we'll be fighting on. So in this case, it's the Rings of Saturn. If it were another map, you would have a planetary surface, either green or icy, depending on the current maps. It also provides you an opportunity at this time to change your ship out if you want. You would press C, but I didn't, so we warp right into battle. It's a training match, there's no waiting for other players.
All ships be advised. Orders are to destroy all enemy ships. Good luck, captains.
So of course we get underway. We immediately start looking for targets. There I have one, but he's probably actually out of range, so I'm not firing. Controls are WASD for movement, forward, backwards, left, right. Up is space, right there, and down is left shift. And there goes a nuke someone just detonated. Interestingly, as logical as it would seem to be to have it in, there is no side strafe for these ships. I don't know why. It seems to be something that you should have.
Target locked. Vultures are locked. Ready to launch. Launch all vultures. Vultures are locked. Ready to launch.
So proceeding through the ice mining facility, there's actually quite a few places for ships to hide and sneak through. You can actually also go above and I believe below, although I haven't done that.
We've got a lock.
I'm pushing forward through the ice mining facility, although given the positions of my other teammates, I probably should have held back a bit. But I am giving a good bit of damage to that one in front of me. I finally started taking a lot of fire from the Dreadnought in front of me and other enemy ships. I'm getting repaired by a tactical cruiser and also firing a nuke there. See where it ends up. Just above, doesn't look like it did any damage. You can actually detonate them manually by hitting the 1 key again, or whatever key they're assigned to. And you see I'm getting an indicator of damage. I'm taking fire from behind and to my left, and there's I think it's a destroyer that's managed to sneak around the flank, so I've redirected fire to the more present threat.
On our position. Thank you.
Hit us on, Captain.
I just took a hit from the nuke there. I think the tactical cruiser I was getting repairs from has been damaged or destroyed. The target made a quick jump, but I was able to maintain fire against him. Main batteries and vulture missiles against the destroyer takes care of him. However, I take a hit finally, and the ship goes. Killed by a screen. Whoop-de-doo. It'll actually, in a live mission, it'll show you all the damage you've taken by all the other players that have dealt damage to you. Didn't change up my ship. Didn't feel like it.
We have a nuke locked and ready, Captain. Vultures are locked, ready to launch. Vulture missiles locked on. Vulture missiles have a clean shot. Solid lock. Launching Vulture missiles. Vulture missiles have a clean shot. We're locked on, Captain. Captain. We've got a lock.
And here we have one of those really annoying little Corvettes. He's dancing around just a little too close for my taste, so I can start letting into him with the main batteries. But he is quick, and he gets away.
Lock on confirmed. Firing. Launching Vulture missiles.
System drained. Starting cooldown.
Vulture missiles locked on.
So I fire off a nuke and the Vulture missiles, and there I take a hit from a friendly artillery cruiser. Just goes to show you that the AI can be just as bad as a real player any day of the week. Here I'm firing against an enemy ship, giving him a little bit of lead. You can see the X's indicating that I am actually hitting him, which is good.
We've taken the lead, Captain.
Enemy missiles incoming, Captain.
We take out the enemy ship. I'm warned of incoming and activate the countermeasures, the anti-missile lasers, but that was a nuclear missile, and anti-missile lasers don't work against it. They have their own countermeasure. So realizing that, I attempted to warp out, but I was a bit too late. Took some damage, but your ship does repair itself over time. Energy management can play a fairly important part in this game. Here, I'm pushing more power into the engines to gain increased speed.
Nuke targeting enemy ship.
You can also increase the output of your weapons or activate a shield. The effect will continue until you either hit E again to turn it off, or until it runs out of power. You can see on the right side of my HUD the flashing red warning of low power. Low power will, of course, recharge itself slowly.
Switch to primary weapon. Scratch 1 Dreadnought. Vultures are locked, ready to launch. Vulture missiles locked on.
Fusion reactor is overheating, putting energy system offline.
And that's where it runs out of power. The crew warns you that the energy system is now offline. You have to wait for it to recharge before you can get any of those effects again.
Vulture missiles have it. Enemy warheads locked on our position. Launch all Vultures.
Once again, we have an enemy Corvette. All Corvettes must die.
Make it a double. Vulture missiles online yet, Captain. Our weapons are locked on. Nuke targeting enemy ship.
Aye, Captain. Activating. Multiple impacts. Damage control teams on station. System drained.
Enemy destroyer has been eliminated. Vulture missiles have a clean shot. Launch all Vultures. Enemy missiles incoming, Captain.
Aye, Captain.
Understood. Swapping to primary weapons, Captain.
So the Corvette to kill. Unfortunately, he gets away. Meanwhile, I am ambushed from cloak by another one and killed.
Enemy has a lock. Vultures are locked, ready to launch.
Full power to maneuvering thrusters.
Vulture missiles locked on. Our weapons Weapons are locked on.
You heard the captain.
We have a nuke locked and ready, Captain. Vulture missiles have a clean shot. Send the Vultures.
Initially, I focused my fire on this enemy heavy until I realized he was being repaired, and I switched over to the tactical cruiser, hoping to shorten his lifespan just a bit. Like with most other games, you kill the healers when you can. So we take out the tactical cruiser, refocus on the Dreadnought, and eliminate him as well.
We got him, Captain. Enemy Dreadnought destroyed.
Oh look, a Corvette. Let's kill him, because Corvettes.
Hostile Corvette destroyed, Captain. Vulture missiles locked on. Vultures are locked, ready to launch. Vulture missiles have a clean shot. Launch all Vultures. Thanks.
I call that a win.
Victory in a training match. Again, not overly difficult. You tend to win those anyways. Still only in closed beta, Dreadnought looks to be a very interesting game on the horizon. It's got enough complexity to keep players engaged without being too complex and putting people off. Certainly there's more things to come. I'm sure there's more features, more ships, more weapons, more maps definitely to be introduced into the game. We'll keep an eye on it, and hopefully we'll have more videos in the near future. And that wraps this episode of Garbage Gaming. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time.